Hi guys, it's Susan from the Alexandrite system. I realized today that it's been literally maybe 2 or 3 years since I've uploaded a video of myself on this channel, and lately I've been thinking more and more about how out of date my original Meet the Altars video is. Because in that video I was freshly 12, I think, and I was still dealing with a lot of trauma and stuff, and I was very shy, so the entire video is like, "Hi guys, it's me, Susan from the Alexandrite system." Which, it doesn't bother me that that video exists. It just bothers me that that is the introduction to me that people still see. Because, it's been 4 years. I'm not the constantly anxious 12-year-old anymore. I am a vivacious 16-year-old. That's right, I turned 16 a couple of months ago. So I wanted to do a new one of these because I want you guys to know who I am now. So hi, I'm Susan. I'm 16 years old and I am one of the council members of the Alexandrite system. So I've grown a lot over the last 4 years, and honestly, it's been fun and nice to be able to grow up, to be able to find out more about myself, to explore things, to really come into my own. And over the last few years, I've bounced around between a lot of different hobbies and found a lot of stuff that I really enjoy. So one thing that I got into late 2021 and early to mid 2022 was Magic the Gathering. That's right, Susan's a gamer girl. I've got decks and stuff. I have a commander deck for Rin and Ciri Inseparable, and I have a modern deck that is flying cat themed and focuses a lot around these cute little cat bird tokens. I found a lot of fun in Magic. I used to go down to our local card shop all the time and once a week play draft, and it was such a fun experience making friends there and just being competitive and having fun. Sadly, I don't really play much anymore because Magic is not a cheap hobby and we are back in school again. And we're not really working right now, we're working on it. Hey, if anyone needs us to consult on anything, by the way, or if you need a virtual assistant, hit up our email. Anyway, so we have no money, so I don't really play Magic anymore. But I still really enjoy it. I think that it's a cool game, and I think that there's a lot of fun to be had. I also really enjoyed the social element. And it's always nice to walk into a space and hear "Hey Susan, how's it going, Susan? It's nice to see you again, Susan." That's me. They know me. Though I think sometimes with friends, for me in particular, there is still kind of this disconnect. Because even if they know me, I can't really tell them that I'm a 16-year-old in a 30-year-old body. At least not without getting into the whole DID thing. And then even then, I feel like some people would get weirded out by that in general. But it's okay. It's something I've done a lot of thinking on and something I've talked about in therapy. And it's something I'm learning to accept. And we have plenty of friends in our real life who know me and know that I'm 16 and know that we're plural and stuff and love and accept that. So even though there's a disconnect when somebody asks "Oh, how old are you?" and I have to say, "Oh, I'm 30. It's not the worst thing in the world. Anyway, more hobbies. I've gotten really into photography over the last couple of years. Sandra got me a Polaroid camera in late 2020, I think, and I've had a lot of fun over the last couple of years learning how to use it and how to take really good shots with it. I have a whole little photo album that I've been filling up slowly with all the pictures I've taken, and I've really loved it. I love doing this. I love photography. I love instant photography in particular, but I've also recently been experimenting with 35mm. And actually one of the classes that we're taking this semester, or rather I specifically am taking, is darkroom photography. And I actually did my first film negative print 3 days ago, and I think it came out really, really well. I'm really, really proud of this, and it was really cool to be part of the entire process. I shot the film, I developed it by hand, I made the print. That's all me. It's such a neat process. I love putting the print into the developer and watching it slowly come up. Honestly, there's really nothing quite like it. Also, something very exciting is that we're filming this in my room. I'm not going to turn the camera around and show you the rest of it because everyone has made a big mess in my room, which is frustrating. But it's still cool to have my own space and to be like, this is a place for me. And in keeping with this being my room, I think after this semester is over, I'm gonna hang up a bunch of my prints in here. Maybe I'll even hang one back there. I think that might be nice. You know, taking a second to think about it, it's been very cool to see the ways in which I've grown up over the last 4 years. Not just in personality, but also like internally in our inner world, my body there has also grown up. And that's not something I expected a brain to really do or like keep up with, you know? I kind of expected to keep my 12-year-old body for like, I don't know, 5 years or whatever, and then it would just like spring me to an adult. But nope, it's been very gradual. Okay, one last fact about me that I want to share is something that I've only said publicly out loud like once. And that is, I am gay. That was something that was hard for me to admit for a long time. It was something that was really scary to me. And in a way, maybe that kind of doesn't make sense. Like, everyone in our system is gay. And, you know, we were assigned male at birth, so maybe it makes sense that we're into girls. But I don't know. I just wasn't ready to admit it for a long time. But it's nice to say now. I don't know why I'm tearing up over this. I only say it out loud to someone who wasn't my therapist for the first time less than a year ago.
And to segue neatly into our next segment, before we started recording, Rufus said that he expects a definitive hotness ranking of the Die Hard men. So let's do that, everyone. Susan, you have the honor of starting.
I'm a lesbian. That's my initial
Moving on.
ranking. And it felt scary but good then. And it feels scary but good now. And one day it won't be scary. Anyway, I think that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm planning on making another video soon about our experience going back to school as a system. Oak has also been working really hard on the Beatles video. He's hoping to have that out before the end of the year. It's currently like over an hour and a half long. And if you join our Patreon, patreon.com/wearealexandra, there's actually a short preview of it. You get to watch the Yellow Submarine segment as a nice little teaser. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting us. If you like the video, take a second to like the video. It really helps out the channel. Special thanks to our patrons that you will see at the end of the video. We will see you next time, guys. Bye.